Hello everyone. Today we learn about how to create an application, a mobile application, and connect it with the server called ThinkSpeak. Okay. So, firstly, we'll start with ThinkSpeak server and how to set up the server. Clear? So, this is the ThinkSpeak server, which is a website called thinkspeak.com. Clear? Here you have to click on this for sign in. Okay, if you are the user first time using this particular thing, so you have to sign up once. Okay, so no account, create one, click on this only. Okay, then I'm just logging in. Here I have to uh, create a channel. Okay, channel like these. Clear? So click on this new channel and then name the channel. Like I'm just adding the name demo. Okay, then the number of fields depends on how many peripherals you are connecting to your electronics board. Okay, so in this I'm just adding two buttons, LED, one for LED and one for buzzer. Okay, two fields I'm adding, and then look, it is created now. Now, what you have to do, you just have to move towards sharing. Because the access is private, your hardware is unable to connect with this. Okay, so click on sharing, and then here the second one, share channel view with everyone. Okay, so now your channel access is public, so it is easily to access by hardware. Okay, in this particular system you have two things, one for LED, this field is for LED, and this field is for buzzer. Okay, this is your channel ID, which is useful for uniquely identify your channel in the ThinkSpeak server. Okay, so this is also used in your the Arduino code. Okay, now this is it. Here we get some API keys. Now what is API? API means application program interface. Okay, so application program interface is a link through which we connect or make a communication channel between multiple softwares. Okay, so as this is a web application or a web server, I have to integrate this particular web server with some kind of mobile app. So for that API keys will be used. Okay, so I'm just showing you the format of that particular API key. Look, this is the key we have to use. So here I'm just creating a simple text file in the text document, opening it and pasting the link. Now look, this is the protocol HTTPS. Okay, and this is the domain name of that particular website. Now from here the HTTP queries are running. Okay, so what is the query? Update this particular API key and field, which field we have to update? Field 1 to 0. Okay, the value will be 0. We can change this value to 1. Why? Because in electronics we have two values. What are those values? 0 and 1. In Arduino we can say low and high. Okay, so we only have to work with these. For turning on, for turning on, I have to copy it and paste it here, and change this 0 to 1 for turning off. This will remain the same. Okay, so for only field 1, for field 1, if you want to change something in field 2, you just have to go here and change the field number. Okay, you can say field 1, field 2, field 3, as you want. Okay, so we have two fields, field 1 and field 2. So these are the API keys or URLs through which we can communicate with our server. Okay, field 1 will be field 2 and field 2. Okay, for turning on and turning off. Clear? So this was the entire setup of our ThinkSpeak server. Now, for creating mobile application, we have to move towards Cordular. Okay, and here we have to create a project. Firstly, you have to sign in from here, create an account, and then you have to move towards create project. So Cordular link will be this: https://creator.cordular.io. Okay, in this you have to click on create project and write the name of the project. You can choose any name of the project. Then if you want to change some kind of colors and all, you can change. If you don't, just click on finish. So this is our basic interface, in which the place where screen 1 is written is called title bar, and where we can see the battery, time, network and all, it is called status bar. So if you want to change the color of that particular thing, you can change the primary color of that particular thing from here. Okay, from blue you can change it to green, or else you want. Okay, like this. I'm just removing this particular title bar from here by unchecking this particular thing. Look, we have an entire screen for that. Now in layouts, I'm just choosing general layout, horizontal arrangement 1 and horizontal arrangement 2. Okay, I'll set the screen orientation or alignment to the center, horizontally and vertically both. So all the buttons comes at the center of our application. Okay, now I have to add some buttons here. Button 1 and button 2. Okay, and this horizontal arrangement having the width fill parent. Fill parent means it will fill the entire screen of our mobile. Okay, now you have to change the alignment horizontally to the center, so that the button will remain the center, and same with this particular horizontal arrangement. Width will be fill parent, alignment will be center horizontally. Okay, now just add two buttons here, button 3 and button 4. Now you have to change the button names so it will be easy to identify. Like I'm just adding LED on and LED off. Okay, for this, buzz on and buzz off. Here, so if you want to change the size of this particular button, you can just change this from here, font size of that particular button to 20. Look bigger. I'm doing it with all the buttons. If you want to change the color of buttons, so you can just change it to anything you want. Okay, so it is your choice only. If you want to change the background color, you can just easily change it. For buzzer, I'm using this particular color, and for what, for LED, I'm using red color. Clear? Now we have these colors, and wait, I don't want this. Delete it. Yes, this is what we have now, but I have to add some layouts to it. Why? Because I need a heading here and a footer also. For that, I am adding a vertical arrangement with, and the screen orientation I'm making it to the default, which is left, horizontally left, and top vertically. Okay, now the vertical arrangement having height and width fill parent, that means it will cover the entire screen. Okay, look, somewhat like this. And now I'm adding a horizontal arrangement, another horizontal arrangement, and a vertical arrangement between these both. Okay, this vertical arrangement will cover the entire body. Okay, and it will consist of both the all of the buttons. Okay, and here the width will be fill parent, here also the width will be fill parent, and both of these having some kind of label is used for text, adding text. So we have added both the labels, changing the width of the label and the text of the label. Label will be Indice Infotech PVT Ltd Private Limited. Enter. And the text alignment will be center. I'm just adding the font size to 20, maybe. Yes, clear? Or I can add some 22. Okay, and if you want, you can just bold the font, or you can change the font also. Okay, so look, it is somewhat like this. Now for footer, created by, okay, width will be fill parent, text alignment will be at center, and if you want to change the font size, I will set it to the 16, and it will be serif also. Clear? Now if you want to change the alignment of this vertical arrangement, you can easily change. So now the button will be at center. Okay, so this will be our basic interface only. Clear? But we need how these API working. Okay, so if we check copying this particular API, okay, copying this particular API and then putting it to this like a URL and hitting the enter, what will happen? Look, there is an entry, and if we see in our public view, look, we have an entry. Clear? If I just change field 2 equals to 1, then hitting the enter, look, there is another entry, and it will look here, it will appear a dot will appear here only. Look, is it clear? So, what are these APIs? APIs just work like a URL. So, I need to add a URL in all of these buttons. Okay. So, for that, I'm adding, we need something on which the URL will be loaded. Yes. So, in views, layout, in views, we have something called web viewer. Is it clear? So, this web viewer will do or will load our URL. Okay. So I'm just adding this particular channel URL to our home URL. Home URL will be this channel. Now this is our designing thing, but for coding we have to move towards block. Here in the right top corner we have a thing called blocks. So click on this, move towards blocks. Now whenever this particular button one is clicked, what we have to do, we have to load a URL. Load HTML. No, I don't want to load HTML. What I want to load URL. Go to this particular URL. Is it clear? For the text we have this particular text thing, blank one we have to add. Now I'm just duplicating it 4 times, or we can say 3 more times. Okay, look, just like this. Now what I have to do, I just have to add these URLs, copying it, and just for button 1, this will be for button 2, this will be for button 3, and this will be for button 4. Because this URL is working for field 2 only, so I'm just adding this to field 3 for turning on the buzzer, and field 4 for turning off the buzzer. Is it clear? Pasting this particular thing only, and then changing the field number. Okay, pasting it again, changing the value 0, and the changing the field number to 1. Now these are our blocks, but one thing also we have to do, whenever someone back press the screen, whenever someone clicks on back press, what will happen, it will also load a web viewer, or we can say URL, which will be our channel only, this channel. Okay, so this was our code. This is called block coding, through which we can create some this kind of applications. Okay, so if you want to change the icon also, you can just change the background image, you can just change the background color as per you need. Okay, you can add some kind of app icon also. If you don't add something, it will look like this only. Okay, so I'm just exporting it to an application to download this particular app. So we have our app QR code through which we can download this particular app. So I'm just turning on my camera, scanning this particular QR code, copying the text, and then moving towards the Chrome. Okay, pasting it. It will download the application. Downloading file. Click on open. It will start installing. Open the app. So look, it is looking somewhat like this. Okay, and here is our what is it, our channel called demo. Okay, so if I click on this LED on button, so what will happen? Look, there is an entry. If I back press, look, it added a value 1 on 3 p.m. Okay, so and if I click, look, because buzzer have one value, we can again add one also, but I am just turning it off. So if I click on buzzer off, what will happen? Look, in field 2 chart, we got this particular 0. Yes. So this is the basic connectivity between our mobile application and the server. Okay, so now we have to add the third client, or we can say the other client, which is our hardware. For that we have to use a simple code. Okay, so this was how we can create an application. Now what we have to do, we just have to move towards our coding area, or the code which is used for Arduino. So I'm just searching that particular code. Where is it? In IoT. ThinkSpeak. Look, ThinkSpeak.txt. This will be our code. This will be the basic code of our system. In which what we need to add this particular library. Okay. Include ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h. This is a required thing for enabling the Wi-Fi module present on our ESP8266 board called Node MCU. Okay, and then for in network connectivity, we need to add the SSID and the password. That means the network name and the password of that particular network. It can be your hotspot, it can be your router, anything. Here, this is the place where you have to add this particular channel ID. This channel ID goes here only in the place of this. Okay, now as I have added only two things, you don't have to write three. Okay, look, so int field 1 the index of that particular field, int field 2 the index of that particular field, and then Wi-Fi client. So we have created an object for Wi-Fi client class through which we can integrate this particular hardware to the ThinkSpeak server. Serial begin for the what it is for, to checking that the data is properly transferred to the hardware from the server or not. Okay, we can see this particular thing in the serial monitor present in our Arduino software. Okay, and then we have to pin mode setting two particular pins D1 and D2 as an output. Okay, because we are putting some kind of values in that, and it will send this particular value to some kind of peripheral like LED, buzzer, relay, or motors, or anything else. Okay, that's why I'm just setting it in the mode which is output. Now we have to add this digital write low. That means initially the value of both the pins should be low or 0. Now I'm just adding some kind of things through which we can understand the connectivity. The hardware is connected with the internet or not. For that, we are using connecting to SSID. SSID will be the network name, and we are adding wi-fi.begin, okay, with the SSID and password. That means we are initializing the Wi-Fi with these particular credentials. Until the Wi-Fi status is not equals to connected, we have to print dots, okay. After that, we have to, if the Wi-Fi status become connected, now we have to print Wi-Fi connected. And whenever any kind of hardware got some kind of network or internet, it having a logical address called IP address, okay. So I'm just printing that particular IP address also, wi-fi.local IP. And then I'm just initializing the ThingSpeak server or ThingSpeak library, this one, by adding the client, with which is the object of our hardware. In the loop, what we are doing, we are just creating three variables: LED, buzzer, and relay. You need two only, because we have added LED and buzzer. ThingSpeak.read float field channel, comma, field 1. So we are converting this particular value, which can be 0, which can be 1. We are converting this particular value and adding this particular value in this particular variable, which is LED. Or we can add the another thing, the value of field 2 in buzzer also. If the value, or if the LED equals to 1, then digital write D1 comma 1, we can write high also, okay. So LED is on now. And if the LED equals to 0, then what we have to do, we just have to write D1 comma 0. That means D1 comma low. For buzzer, again the same. If the buzzer's value equals to 1, then we have to add D2 comma 1, which is for high. And if the buzzer value is 0, then what we have to do, we just have to write D2 comma 0, which is for low. And for commenting multi-line comments, you have to write something like this, okay. We don't have this, so this will be your basic code through which it will run, or the hardware will be integrated with the ThingSpeak server, which is connected to our mobile application, okay. So it will be somewhat like a bridge connection. From mobile, we are sending some data to the server, and from server, the data is taken by the hardware. And through that particular data, we are changing something, or we are providing some values to the peripherals. So this was the basic code, and this was the complete procedure through which we can create an application, adding the ThingSpeak server to the application, and creating, or this using this particular code you of the Arduino to communicate with this particular server and make a connection between all of them. Okay, so thank you everyone. This was it in this particular video.